Good afternoon. It's good to be here. I am actually against guns. I used to have an Uzi and an M16 as an Israeli soldier. And we understood that a gun for us was a necessary evil. But we never thought to arm civilians against our own country, which is the vision of the NRA. And I've been doing this for 25 years now in the United States, first in Boston and a lot of other cities, and then in Providence, working on gang violence. And quite honestly, there was a racial divide. It was hard to get the attention of the suburbs to gun violence. It's something that people were convinced the NRA was right. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. But this is starting to change. And I see on Facebook now every day on my feed things that even I realize as a professional who works on it, who with my team follows it a lifespan. We do 400 stops at the hospital a year for victims of violence, just here in Rhode Island.
It was a balloon.
Yeah, I know. I'm just stopping to think. Every day now on feed, I get on Facebook and on Twitter, I see things that even I wasn't aware of. I knew the numbers of people who die from homicide, from suicide and accidental gun discharge, but even for me, I knew the victims personally who died in Providence, but someone in Ohio, I didn't know. But now with Facebook, every morning I see a cookout, a 3-year-old discharges an AK-47 that his good guy dad left unattended to. Every day the carnage continues, and eventually we are all being forced to think whether the Second Amendment is just a God-given right with no limits. As you know, a law by definition is a limit. It's a compromise. A society is a compromise. And I applaud Congressman Cicilline for taking the steps on an issue, just so you know, and this is where you can make a difference. Even in our state house, when there is reasonable legislation, the legislators hear 200 times from pro-gun people, and they hear 0 or 10 times, even though we are in the majority in polls, but we don't bother to call. Because a lot of us who are caring people, we care about food stamps, we care about poverty, about businesses, about better school. We have a lot of issues. Guess what? The people who care about guns, they care about guns, and they care about guns, and they care about guns. And we are going to have to change it. Or our children who go to a nice college, or go to a cinema in the suburb, or they go to a political rally, like it happened with Gabby Gifford, or they go to an elementary school in Connecticut, are no longer safe. There's two visions in this society. One is going to be a reasonable democracy that compromises the different races, the different incomes, that we live together in peace. And there's another vision that says, I got to protect myself against Americans with guns. And therefore we're going to have more and more guns. And police officers are at risk, ambulance drivers are at risk, teachers are at risk. But it ain't going to happen if just this group is going to be the one always speaking. You have to register, you have to take those cards, you have to sign. I can see the change in our society, I can see people getting pissed off. And what I told the NRA a year ago, you better compromise and reach out with your hand. At the olive branch, we are reaching to you for compromise. Because you are on the losing side of history. 300 million guns, we're going to have more and more massacre. And you don't need to be a prophet to predict that. I am not a prophet. And sure enough, they're happening. We are going to have more new towns. We will have them. Let's not put our head in the sand. There are going to be more new towns. So what are you going to do about it? Thank you.